What is going on, All American Sports News? This is your host, Joel Davis. If it's your first time tuning in to the channel, please do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top. Please like and share. Please like and share. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to hold this too long. We're going to jump into this. Oh, man. Right now, the football world is in shambles. And we're going to talk about the John Gruden uh, firing. We're also going to talk about the recent rankings in the NFL and also in college football. And we're going to touch base on the plans of what's going on with the uh, boxing world on Deontay Wilder and where people see him going from there. So again, sit back, relax, and get ready for another edition of once again All American Sports News. So let's jump into uh, what's going on with John Gruden. John Gruden has basically set the world on fire based upon his time when he was working at um, as they would call it, the Washington football team when it was formerly known as the Washington Redskins. Now, this guy, this team has really got a lot of people up in arms with the emails that released. Now, story has it, it all started with Demarius, the guy that was over the uh, NFL Players League when they first started boycotting, and it just went downhill from there. Now, everybody knows that, yes, people say a lot of things when they're angry and upset. I'm not making excuses, but this is 10 years old. Let's keep that in mind. This was 10 years old. But we already know how the cancellation works. Once it comes out and people see you as being fraudulent, they don't stop there. They will continue to keep going and going and going. So I'm going to let you hear the commentary from players and everybody else that's talking about their feelings about what uh, John Gruden has done. Then I'm going to break down this article and tell you my thoughts before we go on to the next segment of the show.
There is something happening in the NFL right now that is obviously massive in the real world, not just in the NFL. And I think somebody who's been around the NFL as long as you, just like I had this thought in AJ, the NFL locker room is such a beautiful place because it's such a collection of backgrounds and people that are vastly different from maybe you are. So the things that were being said by Gruden in those emails makes no sense to me for the culture that is the NFL. Do you have any thoughts on that whole situation and how we go forward, anything like that, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it it's going to come out. You know, the truth is going to come out. That's one thing for sure. I think we have to leave space for people to grow and change and better themselves. But I think there are opinions that just don't belong in the game.
All right, so here's my objective problem with this. My objective problem with this commentary when they said this right here is that this was over 10 years ago. All right, that's number one. I'm not making any excuses for what John Gruden has done. What he said was very disrespectful, was very hurtful. But we also know that people always let their feelings get the best of them when they were upset. Now, I also feel like that John Gruden's firing is a little bit more deeper than just this. Got to remember, John Gruden has not got these guys to a actual playoff. He ain't got them to a playoff. They have not even made it to a playoff the whole time he had that team. So I think this is more of a, okay, we got this out on this guy. He's a dirtbag. We ain't got nothing to lose. Now, let's think about this and imagine if this was Bill Belichick, a man who had won Super Bowls after Super Bowls after Super Bowls. Would the league have that same energy to fire him like they did John Gruden? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because we all know that when it comes to sports, if you're a winner, people overlook a lot of things. And then, not to mention, too, cancel culture brought this up 10 years ago. This was 10 years ago. This wasn't like it happened this week. So why now are we bringing something of emails of 10 years ago? Why now? And why now are we firing this man about something that happened 10 years ago? When in reality, I knew John Gruden knew he was going to get fired anyway because he hasn't lived up to his potential in Las Vegas because of the coaching style of getting these guys to the playoffs. But I'm going to continue to let people talk.
And I can say with real honesty and pride that I don't feel like those are opinions that are shared by the players. You know, I feel like in the locker room it's a close knit group of guys, and you know we don't treat people differently based on the way that they talk, where they're from, what they're into, what they look like, and I'm proud of that. You know, I feel like that's the most important thing to being leaders, to being connected as a team is respect and love and connection and really seeing people. And I know that there's probably opinions similar to that, but I feel like they're few and far between.
I didn't say anything. Stephen A. remember when I was deactivated from the team and essentially sent home for 6-7 weeks. Yeah. I didn't say anything. I said, hey, I'm happy. I won a Super Bowl. I had my time. It's time to move on. I didn't get into it. I let everybody else just say what they say. And then I finally said, man, this dude is a fraud. Y'all don't seem to understand. He's selling you on something and you're buying it. He's been doing that for years. And whether it was he's an excellent quarterback coach, whether he won the Super Bowl, which I'm grateful and thankful that he came in at a time and injected some energy into us so we can get over the hump that year and win the Super Bowl. But it's the talking behind people's back. Yeah. That was one of his traits.
I got another thing to say about that. And shout out to my boy about Antonio Brown. Harry, you're right. You're right, Harry. I'm with you. This is the new thing about cancel culture. People not understanding this. A lot of people handle situations different. Some people that get suspended, yes, they keep their mouth shut. They don't say anything. You know, they keep their head down and they just take it, you know, and talk about it within their group of people that they trust and feel comfortable or to themselves. But then you got people like John Gruden who don't give a fuck. Okay, they mad, they pissed off. They go express how they feel. Now, I wouldn't say John Gruden is a fraud. I would say that John Gruden was a very overly opinionated person that found out real quick now in this lifetime, 10 years later, that in this era, you can't be outspoken without getting canceled. And the only way you don't get canceled unless you are a superstar. Example given, like I just said, if this was Bill Belichick who was on the clock for this and said those things, we would not be going through this right now. See, the thing about Gruden is Gruden has oversold himself. He made promises to that GM over there in Las Vegas that he could get the job done, which we all know that they were also recruiting him heavily. It wasn't like John Gruden wasn't getting courted either. Like everybody was trying to get Gruden, okay? Because Gruden had built this resume that he could turn this Las Vegas Raiders team around into something special. And he didn't. They had decent seasons, but when it came to game time, they couldn't get to the playoffs. They couldn't win key games. So he was going to be out the door anyway. Now, I think this is a little bit more bigger than that. I think that they're doing this because of the situation that went on in Washington. If y'all know, Washington is still under investigation about a lot of things that went on in that team that was a very cancerous culture. You had RBG3 even talking about how negative the atmosphere was in Washington Redskins at the time, which is now Washington football team. That's why they couldn't be successful and could concentrate on winning any championships or be playoff ready. So now I feel like they're using him as a scapegoat. I mean, why not? He sucks where he at right now. The league is probably on that owner's ass about what you're going to do with John Gruden. You got a talented Raiders team, but they're not doing worth a damn. And don't forget the icing on the cake about the young kid that came out gay in the locker room over there, which I don't think they even got anything to do with it. Most of it is based upon, to me, scapegoat. We got to have somebody to be an example. Oh, yep, you right. You ain't wrong. The $100 million swindle contract. You right. He sure did, because he swindled a lot of people into a lot of false. Again, like I said, John Gruden isn't. I'm not defending John Gruden at all. Please believe me. I'm not one of these guys jumping up and down saying that John Gruden is amazingly. Oh, y'all, give me one moment. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Had to do something for the missus. You know how that is. But getting back to what I'm saying. This is a situation where everybody should have known this was coming. This was coming. Now, to me, again, I think it's because they need a scapegoat for Washington. And not to mention, later on, I'm going to talk about they want more emails released on what also happened between other coordinators and coaches out of Washington. But we're going to proceed on and play the rest of this off.
In Tampa, everything, Stephen A., I love you. I love you, Molly. You're great. But as soon as I go around the corner, I can't stand them, you know what's, and this, that, and the other. I got to get it. He was doing that a lot. And you know how assistant coaches are. Assistant coaches have to feed their families, so they're not going to say nothing. Right. But they'll tell you on the side, that's right. Hey, dude, this dude here is a bad guy. Yeah. And I always try to tell people, man, that dude's a bad guy. Y'all don't seem to get it. Because he gets on television and he has a scowl on his face and everybody likes him because he won a championship. I had taken no personal feelings with me at all about John Gruden. The guy actually tried to get me to come back to play for him the first year I retired. Bruce Allen and him called me and my agent to try to get me to come back and play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to make another playoff run, and I decided to stay at ESPN instead. But I also understood who he was. Am I surprised that this sort of behavior would come out about Coach Gruden? I'm not surprised that he would talk about people in despairing views behind their backs. Not at all.
All right, so that's some of the, what Keyshawn Johnson said. I'm not playing the whole part. You can go on Twitter and see it. Just trying to see if there's any other. But a lot of people are not happy. Okay. Now, John Gruden went on and resigned. And he talked about drafting queers after the St. Louis selected Michael Sam, who was gay in 2014. Now, let me tell y'all something about this. In 2014, when Michael Sam got drafted to the St. Louis Rams, I think the reason why he was not successful is because A, they were scared of the distraction, and B, due to the fact of the matter, you know what I'm saying, he just wasn't a good player. Now, this is the thing that I thought was retarded that they talked about. When they said that he said DeMar Smith, who was black, has lips the size of Michelin tires. Okay. Did he say that this black, whatever, so-and-so, all black people got lips the size of Michelin tires? I mean, I don't see nothing racial about that. I just see that he just called a man a big lip fool. I mean, there's a lot of people that call people big lip fools of all races. So you can't bust out and say that it's racial. Now, the queer part, yeah, that was out of line. But then again, like we had just said, and I've discussed time and time again, 2014, the culture was different than what it is now. You go fast forward 7 years. The culture didn't start getting real about people getting discriminated against because of their sexuality, of the LGBTQ plus question mark community pick up full steam until later on in 2014, going into the beginning of 2015. So he was really saying these things right at the peak when nobody was really paying attention to all that. Oh, man. No, I didn't get the link, brother. But I will. I share whatever links y'all need. And thank you, Uncle Phil. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So at the end of the day, you know, this is what's going to be happening. And I got a feeling there's going to be more coaches like this that's going to get outed like this. I mean,
what are you doing? Don't spray that in my room.
Oh, StreamYard family. Okay.
I don't like that smell.
I don't have StreamYard, Uncle Phil. I actually use Melon app. But a lot of people said that he was a fraud. Not to mention too, whenever he inherited the championship team by Tony Dungy, everybody thought that he oversold himself. You know, so this is not anything shocking. And like I said before, I would not be surprised that there's going to be more emails released. So then let's talk about what they want released now. I'm glad we talked about this. Let's go back here. So now since this has happened, let me share with y'all some more information here. We're gonna get this one off the screen right quick. Y'all hit that like button, hit that share, that subscribe button, hit that notification bell up top. Let's grow this channel. Let's try to get it. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the most premier sports channels that you're going to see on the tube, where we break it down. We talk about sports and real life lessons. Unbiased. Straight to the point. No cap in here. Now, this is what people want now. And this is what I want to say. They now want Gruden to be the example of more coaches in the league to be exposed. And it's probably going to happen. Y'all know it's going to happen. I see it's happening. Right in front of our faces. It's going to happen. You're right. Open talk is a thing of the past, Uncle Phil. Open talk is a thing of the past now. They are flushing these guys out. $50 unlikes. I don't know what you mean, but whatever. So here's what they're saying here. John Gruden is gone. In a stunning turn of events that unfolded on Monday, Gruden was forced to resign as Las Vegas coach in the face of an avalanche of racist, anti-gay, and monogamous emails after first disclosed by the New York Times. So Gruden, who was in the fourth year of a $100 million contract, which we all said that he oversold to these people, is history. That's a good thing. But my concern is about the legion of enablers who supported Gruden all these years. What about them? Who are they? The NFL has gotten rid of its Gruden problem. It has not gotten rid of Grudenism, regressive sensibilities, and stand foursquare against diversity, inclusion, and tolerance. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Newsflash. If they got rid of Gruden, you're not going to have no more enablers, because now the enablers are going to be scared to enable anybody, because now they know their job is on the line, because right now it's a domino effect. So I'm not going to bust up. I disagree with that article. Now, should the enablers be held accountable? Well, let's ask the question. Who were the enablers? Because I'm quite sure there was players that allowed this too, that knew he was like this and never spoke up. And a lot of people don't speak up about issues like this, especially back then, because they want to be able to continue to play and thrive and make money. So when you're trying to be able to thrive and make money and take care of your family, you kind of keep your head down and don't say nothing about coaches like this, especially if you're just a little peon and they're in a position of power. Now, Gruden's trip to the gallows started Friday. And that's when a 2011 email about the Washington Redskins team president Bruce Allen to describe DeMaurice Smith. And nobody did not know how Allen replied to Gruden. And that's another thing I want to know. You know, who was in there? Who saw the response? What was responded? Why didn't we get that part? Like I said before, I feel like there's a lot of things here that is not being revealed. I think there's a lot of things being hidden. And why so? Why is everybody putting Gruden to be the sacrificial lamb, but nobody's not talking about the response? Now, here's the thing. However, the Allen responded at the time, the team president, Bruce Allen, we won't never know because he got fired in 2019. And I'm quite frankly sure he's never going to work in the NFL again. There's 650,000 emails under investigation right now from the Washington football team. So I'm not going further because it really get political. I'm not trying to get political on this show. I have my own political thing going on my other channel, but I just gonna say this, that Gruden really should have known that you cannot go out here and act the fool with people and think that nobody's not gonna find this out. This is a new era right now. Cancel culture is in full effect. And if you did anything back in the day, it will come out. You can't hide this no more. You just can't. I mean, we seen it. Everybody's seen it. You cannot hide this no more. I mean, it's just facts. Can't hide it. Can't hide it no more. So we're gonna go ahead on and look at the rankings for the NFL. Tell you who rolled of the college football. Again, please hit the like button, hit the share, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top. We're gonna keep rolling on. I want to give y'all some good content today. I want to take my time on this one. Let's look at the rankings. And we're going with the football power index for college football. So college football was very interesting this week. And the reason why I said it was very interesting is because Alabama got they behind beat finally, but not to the point of where you could count them all the way out of the league. Thank you very much, JH. I appreciate you, sweetie. Thank you for the support, y'all. That's my other producer on my other channel. Thank you for the support. So let's look at the power index right now. In fact, we're gonna look at it on rankings. I'm not even gonna look at power index. We're gonna look at the top 25. What we can expect. So right now we're gonna talk about what is next for each team in the top 25 because we still got a long way to go, guys. And don't count Alabama out just yet. Just because Alabama lost does not mean that Alabama is out of the running. Alabama is still in the running. Please believe that. They are not dead, not yet. You know, a lot of people getting excited. Oh yeah, roll tide. They're not knocked out yet. But we're gonna break it down and tell you what it is. All right, Georgia Bulldogs is number 1. They won against Auburn, number 18. Now they go against Kentucky. Now, what is the X factor? Nakobe Dean is coming into his own. The talent linebacker ended Saturday's game against Auburn with a 3.5 sacks and left Jordan Hare Stadium with his first interception of the season. What also you need to know, the bye week can't get here soon enough for a Georgia team still waiting for the return of JT Daniels at quarterback. But before that happens and before the Bulldogs face Florida, they have to take care of business against a dangerous Kentucky team. So if they win against Kentucky with no issues, Florida, you ain't got a chance. I'm going to say it again. All Florida fans, you have no chance. Because y'all know I rep Georgia. That's my baby. That's my team. So, yeah, you have no chance. I say that with a straight face without even stuttering. Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, they had a thriller type of gameplay in week 6 against number 4 Penn State. But what's next? For them, they go against Purdue on the 16th of October. Now, they got a good punter, which is Tory Taylor, the Aussie-born punter added to his legend status against Penn State with 6 punts inside the 20-yard line and a 44 and 2-yard average. He consistently keep field position in Iowa's favor, helping by enough time for the offense to get going. What else you need to know? Iowa is squarely in the playoff conversion at 6-0 and has no ranked opponents left on its schedule. The Hawkeyes likely will need more of an offensive punch to reach their top goals, but few teams control games better with their defense and special teams. Coach Kirk Ferentz loves his team's mentality, but knows Iowa must avoid a letdown this week against a Purdue team that has had the Hawkeyes number before entering an open week. So basically, they're going to have to, no doubt, play a real good game and perfect games throughout because they have no more ranked teams for the season. And that's dangerous if you're number 2 right now and you ain't have no more ranked teams for the rest of the season. It's not a good look. Cincinnati Bearcats are 5-0. Their top player has been Darian Beavers and Ahmad Sauce Gardner. So they got to go against UCF. They should win that. Oklahoma Sooners. Their quarterback, Caleb Williams, and been a phenomenal. Now, they got to go against TCU, which they have beaten so many times. So it shouldn't be a factor. Alabama. They 5-1 right now. They still got their explosive defensive back. Or they lost the defensive back, Malachi Moore. And they still had Zach Kazada passing for 285 yards and 3 touchdowns. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. You got the Ohio Buckeyes, State Buckeyes. They still got to look out for Indiana. Let's see what others rankings we got. And I'm just going to wrap these off. I'm not going into detail. Penn State Natty Lions, they are still in the hunt, even though they lost. They were at the 4th spot. They dropped down to 7. Michigan Wolverines, they were at the 9th spot. Now they at 8. They're 6-0. Oregon Ducks, they were at the 8th spot, being 4-1. They're now at the 9th spot. The Michigan Spartans, they were at the 11th spot, but they went up a notch at 10, being 6-0. Kentucky Wildcats, they were at 16, but they went up to 11, being 6-0. Oklahoma State Cowboys, they still at the same position they was last week. They're in a bye week this week. Oh, they was in a bye week this week. Ole Miss, 4-1. They went from ranked 17 to now 13. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they still stood still at 14. Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, man, that's from my home state. They 6-0. They are still in the 15th ranking. Wake Forest Demons went up to Deacons went up to 16. I mean the 16th after being at 19th. Arkansas Razorbacks, they were at 13, but they dropped down to 17. Arizona State Sun Devils was 22, now they 18. I told y'all the BYU Cougars was going to drop, and they dropped tremendously from being in the top 10 to now 19 from that loss. Florida Gators are still at 20. Texas A&M Aggies, they went up. They were unranked, but now they're 21. North Carolina State Wolfpack was 23, now they're 22. SMU Mustang, they were 24, now they're 23. And San Diego State Aztecs was 25, and now they're 24. And Texas Longhorns, 4-2, were ranked 21, but fell to number 25. So yeah, that's where we at with the rankings. Now let's go to NFL rankings. Ugh. Oh, keep that down. I'm streaming. Let's see what we got on the NFL side, y'all. Y'all give me 1 second. All right, let's see here. Let's go to these rankings. Try to get this depth chart. So, let's. So we're gonna talk about the power rankings right quick in the NFL. Then I'm gonna tell y'all the boxing news with Deontay Wilder, and then we're gonna wrap this up. I'm just gonna tell y'all the first 10 because I'm not gonna give you the whole 32. I always do the first top 10. Right now, the Buffalo Bills is still ranked number 1, and the most improved player is wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders. Congratulations, Buffalo Bills. The Arizona Cardinals are still ranked at number 2. Their most improved player is running back Chase Edmonds. Los Angeles Rams still at 3. Their most improved player is Van Jefferson at wide receiver. Tampa Bay Buccaneers is still at 4. Their most improved player, you guessed it, Tom Brady. And number 5 is Green Bay Packers. And their most improved player is left tackle Josh Nijman. Dallas Cowboys, they went up from 8 to 6. Their most improved player is C.B. Trevin Diggs. Los Angeles Chargers went from 9 to 7. With their most improved player being offensive tackle Storm Norton. Now, the Baltimore Ravens fell a point. Their most improved player is cornerback Anthony Abbott. And then there's the Cleveland Browns. They are now ranked number 9 when they were 6. They're 3-2. Their most improved player is tight end David Njoku. And the 10th spot is Kansas City Chiefs that were at 11. And their most improved player is tight end Jody Fortson. And y'all know what I always tell y'all who's at the bottom. Who made it to last place? Who's trying to get that rookie of the year? Detroit Lions, who is 0-5, still at the bottom of the poll. Hey man, you can't make this up. No, excuse me, Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry, my bad, Lions.
I want to take his mask off and see the life in his eyes.
So that's it on that. Let's jump into boxing.
Rated R.
I would give y'all my selection of who will win.
That's all I was thinking about last night.
Probably Thursday or Friday.
The maturity in Lamar Jackson.
All right. And here we go. can't find it, but I'm about to find it now. All right, let's see. So here's how the fights is leading up now. Now, I know y'all want to get to Deontay Wilder, but I'm going to get that in a bit. So Tyson Fury said he was taking off. And the reason why he's taking time off because he probably won't fight to sometime in 2022, which will probably be either in the middle or end of 2022. And the reason why I say middle or end is because Dylan White, who is the WBC interim champion, wants to fight either Joshua or Usyk. But if I would choose he had to fight, it'll probably be Usyk because I got a feeling Usyk gonna win again against Anthony Joshua. Because Anthony Joshua cannot handle that type of. That dude was skilled and he got power. Now, here's the thing about Usyk. Usyk they ain't got no real body. Usyk just look burly, but he can fight. So, and his punches are not. It's quick. He got quick punches. They look like they don't have no power. See you later, bro. Then Dylan White's supposed to be facing Otto Wallen on December 30th. So, all right, we'll see. And then you got Andy Ruiz. Now he said he down to fight Ruiz. Ruiz, I'm gonna tell you now. Just go on and fall down, bro. You're not gonna beat that man. That man is 6'9" and he's solid. He gonna wear your little short behind out. You be hitting his body, he gonna be laughing at you like you his kid. Now, either way it goes, whoever Deontay Wilder face, he's still gonna have to, if he's gonna stay in this division, he's gonna have to see that man again, Tyson Fury. So we'll see how it works out. Yeah, man. So, like I said, it's gonna be good. A lot of shuffling going on in boxing, but Deontay Wilder's not retiring. I would retire, but hey, you know it's his show, his game, his gig. So that's whatever. So either way it goes, guys, I wanted to give you an update on these sports. Again, I appreciate everybody rocking with your boy. Like again, if it's your first time tuning in the broadcast, hit like, share, and subscribe. Get in the comment section. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think that there's going to be more coaches fired over emails on the Washington football team, or you think they're just going to sweep it under the rug? All right, I'm out, guys. I am out. Sitting here thinking for a minute. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am out.